Hey there, what's up everybody? Filippo Cinotti here, DP, colorist and creator of the color grading masterclass. So thanks for tuning in into this free color grading webinar. I'm really excited to have you here, and let's get started with a quick announce. We are not live. You may ask why you're not live. We're not live because I've done a bunch of live webinars in the past, and when I'm doing live webinars, I'm too focused on the presentation and I don't get to answer many of your questions. So I'll be on the back end watching all your questions and answering them privately. So use the chat box, let me know where you're from, all your questions, and I'll be answering this privately or directly from the back end. So let's have a quick overview of this training. I'll start by answering the question that I get asked the most, which is how did I get started and how did I get where I am today. Then I'm going to talk about what color grading masterclass is and why I created it. Then we're going to give you a sneak peek at some of the content inside it. Then I'll be talking about my top secrets of achieving a cinematic grade. And then I'm gonna make an exclusive offer just at the end of this webinar for everybody that wants to learn more just beyond this free training session. And to close the training, I'm going to be answering a long list of most frequently asked questions. I've been asked tons of questions on my Instagram poll, and I'll be answering tons of them at the end, so keep watching till the end. So before we get started, let me answer a few questions up front that I always get asked. First question is, who is this training for? It's geared more towards intermediates or professionals who are struggling leading more clients or sponsorships and upgrade their skill set. I'll be covering a few tips that might be new to you guys, but don't be afraid, because everything that you're not completely understanding here is completely covered in my masterclass. So second question is, how long this training going to be? It will be around 45 minutes. I think it will be a bit more because I'm going to add more content inside the recording session of these 5 big tips, but I'm not pitching my products all the time. I will be just sharing tons of content from outside and inside my masterclass, and what I can say is that tons of my students are saying that they earn more, they learn more from this masterclass than they did in years of random YouTube videos. So keep watching this. There will be some things that you won't understand at 100%, and I'll be covering everything inside the masterclass, but lots of content will be already into this free, almost 1 hour long training session. So let's officially start the webinar. My name is Filippo. I'm 27 years old and I'm from Forlì, Italy. And right now I'm into the filmmaking industry since 2009, and I'm working worldwide with different brands and with different realities as DP and a colorist. Here's just a quick look at some of my favorite videos I had the opportunity to make. That's my job has taken me. Some of the brands I've worked with during those travels included Fred Perry, Vodafone, Technogym, Cinotti, and many more. On this high budget production I've worked with as a cinematographer and colorist. As said, if you take nothing from this training, at least take away the confidence of knowing that the things I'm teaching today, if applied, will give you the know-how that produce high-end video content from big name companies like this. So recently I started my own production company working with some big names and grew my Instagram channel to over 70k followers, and I've received sponsorships from companies like Pelican, Holland, Praying Global, Parkies, Comica, Cinco, and many more. In a nutshell, in all these years, I've learned what it takes to create high quality video and attract high paying clients. Super excited about that, super excited about everything I did during these years, just keeping pushing and moving forward. So let's dive in. How did I get started? I always get answered to this question because tons of people don't know where to start. And all they know is that they want to be able to shoot professional videos, they want to be, professionally able to color grade stuff and potentially make money doing so, but don't know how to break into the industry and aren't sure if going to film school is necessary. So I'm going to share with you my story and the steps I took to get where I'm today without going to film school, because I'm not one of those guys that will say go to film school. I didn't, and I won't ever say that. So let's rewind all the way back that motivated me to get into the filmmaking industry in the first place. So 7 years ago, I had zero color grading education, zero experience, and I didn't even own DaVinci Resolve. Then I ordered this. the Blackmagic cinema camera, the first Blackmagic cinema camera that come with DaVinci Resolve dongle, the one that at the time they used to give you just to use the pro version of DaVinci Resolve. And as soon as my camera arrived with DaVinci Resolve, I put that into my PC. I used PC back in the days, and I realized that I had zero knowledge about DaVinci Resolve. So I spent the whole summer watching YouTube tutorials and things that I found around the web. I'm 100% sure that you live the same scenario, just spinning YouTube video tutorials around all the day, and then you got the promising one that is like 20 minutes or 30 minutes, 40 minutes of content, but whenever you watch those 40 minutes of content, you find out that just 30 seconds or 3 minutes or 2 minutes of it are just valuable content. And that was a huge waste of time, and I know how it goes and how it is, because that's the main reason because I created my masterclass. Because I want to give people an alternative to what is the traditional film school, which is gonna cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars and years of your life, and that's the big thing. And it's an alternative, this one, it's alternative to spending months and years of your life watching YouTube tutorials and learning from your mistakes. And I don't want you to spend, years and time as I did, and that's why I created that. But we will talk about this later. The point of this fact is that I've been where you guys are and know how frustrating the process could be. But after 3 or 4 months of tutorial watching and learning by trial and error, I took my limited knowledge and started offering this as an additional service. A service that I put in the front end, which my DP work or which my filmmaking works. I did tons of trial and errors, but I give all my client this as a plus, as a trial, pretending to do and to be who I was not. And I can tell you now that nothing best for you that putting yourself on the first line and try out the skills you've learned. So being confident on what you're doing. So after years of doing this, I decided to put a tag on it and obviously start doing this as one of my main job, DP and colorist. So then I decided to be certified as a Blackmagic design trainer and not just a user, and I took everything I learned, compressed it and recorded into 11 hours of content. Another huge key to this success and everything I've been doing during the years is continue learning and growing during the years. I noticed since my first project that every set, every error and every step forward bring me something more, and it was about it, continuing learning, continuing doing mistakes and adding value to what I was doing after every error. So it is and will always be a tough road because we will never stop learning during our years. But here's the catchy thing, I compressed everything in 70 videos, 11 hours, and I'm always adding values to this video, always adding something more. Just to give my student everything I learned during these years, I just want to add extra value to this masterclass during time by time. I just keep focusing on content that will give you something more, just not waste minutes and hours with fluff. Everything that you need to be profitable on this huge market, and just go on the first line and test everything that you've learned. And as my motto says, be brave and make it better. So don't be satisfied about the first thing that come out from the program or from the camera, because you have to sincerely be in love with what you're doing. So now let's go to dive into my top 5 secrets into achieving cinematic grades. Secret number 1 is follow and create a color flow. So guys, let's start by saying what is the color flow. The color flow is the most crucial part when you become color grading to extend your single clip to the whole project and give the whole project a unique touch. Speaking about that, I want to take Shot Deck, that is an incredible website where you can find different stills from tons of movies. I want to take as an example Jojo Rabbit, and as you can see from the stills from the movie, you have different scenes in different moments of the movie, but all those scenes are basically unified by a unique look. Everything changed in different situation in terms of contrast, in terms of primaries, but it keeps consistent with these yellowies and green tints everywhere. And obviously if we scroll down, there are different scenes on different scenarios with obviously even different moments of the movie, and they keep consistent these moments by creating this color flow. So if I close this and take even another movies, same exact thing, like Godzilla, this one, classic blockbustery orange and teal with a gray tint on the red and the oranges, and this cyan tealy tint there, but the color flow is always consistent. So how to achieve that and how to maintain that? If I open my lightbox, I'm watching at all the scenes inside my commercial, and what you want to do initially is just divide all your clips by groups. So what I've done there is just going on clips, going on grouped. I got these 4 groups because on my commercial I got all my footage divided in these 4 groups. So the first one, it will be golden hour, so I press on golden hour, and if you go on the light box, as you can see, everything is kept consistent. So orangey tone, golden tones, those wine reds I might say, are always consistent. And if I go there and take that, like the complementary group, complementary hour, I would say that we got some cool complementary shots. So how to achieve that? Normally I just take a place inside my node tree and I create the look in the same place, and then when I make the grade for the other clips, I just have to change primaries and contrast for them. So just let's see, by pressing all clips, take a random one from the golden hour. So normally I will do that on few parallel nodes, but for this one we have on 3 serial nodes. So just look at what happens if I switch this to off. Look, it's off. Then I go on another clip, I switch those 3, or maybe 2 for this one. Look is off, and same things even there. With the sun it's even stronger, and the look it's off. Same thing if I go on this other one. I dedicated the look there on this 3 parallel nodes, so I'm gonna select this and turn this off and on, and as you can see we have a look there. So be consistent inside your project, created your node tree, and dedicate a part of the node tree to your look. In this way you'll be able to switch between clips and just being known where you put your look, what you have to switch. And in terms of organization, be organized in groups, because it's crucial when you just want to, open this light box and see what you've done. Is everything is correct? Is everything is consistent? Help yourself even with the image wipe right there if you want to take a reference still and then play it on the image wipe to match the shots. That's a great thing to do. The secret number 2 is condense the color space. When I talk about condense the color space, I talk about a thing that you probably noticed tons of time and let you say why this movie looked that professional or that gorgeous to my eyes, and the commercial look too boosted off or too strong in terms of colors. It's just because movies are compressed below that high level that you can see there, because you're gonna see this in dark rooms. And so basically, in simple terms, you just have to keep it below the 896 IRI level. As you can see, even if I take really strong and wide images, everything stands compressed here. So if you just want to make a grade that is going I don't know, on the web, on YouTube or whatever, and just want this look, this feel, you just have to be compressed and gentle with this level. So just take this footage from a Panasonic GH5. I just make a quick transformation to Rec 79 there, and this is pretty good if you have to make it for commercial, for broadcast usage because I want to make it pop out from a TV or whatever my audience is watching this. But what if I want to convert this through this layer node to cinematic color space? Boom, everything is compressed and everything it sits basically on these levels, and to your eyes I'm pretty sure that it works in a really different way. So this is just a thing that if you want to make it movie-like, even if it's going on the web, you just have to compress that color space, you just have to compress that scopes below these levels. Secret number 3 is the importance of client nodes. So guys, for this technique I want to make a special mention to Dario Valentic and Walter Volpato, because I saw this on one video from Dario Valentic, and this technique is officially been made by Walter Volpato. And what this does, that's basically splitting up your look or your adjustment into 3 nodes that you want to call client nodes. You'll be able to manage your clients, or better, the producer, the director, and the DP in a really smart way. So as you might know, parallel nodes works by merging the RGB of 3 different correctors. So you already guessed, if you have a DP that is asking something like boost up the highlights with the glow, or just make a little adjustment, and the director just want a specific look that the producer just don't want that much, you just want to make all different correction divided by the person, or better, divided by the client, so producer, director, and DP, and you want to make all the correction that they want on their specific corrector. So if the producer want to change something, you will change something in their corrector, and this will affect the general look that will go on the output of our image. And it's a really smart way to handle clients and want some different variation from a look. And it's smart because when it comes to the end, everyone worked for the final result, but you got everything divided by specific correctors. Secret number 4 is contrast is king. So when I say that contrast is king, I really mean it, because it's the thing that I always place between primaries and saturation, that it controls the whole mood of my correction. And tons of my students just don't understand really well how to use the contrast in the beginning, but then when it comes to talk about it with the cool play with the pivot, everything changed. So we all know that making a contrast is basically setting 2 points on our higher level and just push between one part and the other. These 2 points, one in the black and one toward the whites. And you may never think that these 2 points are customizable, or better, you can choose where to place them even if you're using the contrast from there. So just look at this. If I crank up the contrast, you may have an okay contrasty image, but if you want to really control how the contrast affect our image, we just want to play it cool with the pivot. And that's why on our color wheels, contrast and pivot are always on the right or left side of the other. So just look at this, playing a bit with the contrast and the pivot, it can make a whole big difference to your image. And that's the crucial point where I start to grade inside my node tree. And now let's go with the secret number 5, pulling out the extraordinary. By pulling out the extraordinary, what I mean is that you want to just start watching at your starting image and start looking at it and saying what I can do to help this image to improve the image in terms of quality and in terms of look. So activating the color grading, you basically want to achieve a great look, but you also want to help those little zones or the things that a DP haven't kicked out that much. Like in this case, I kicked out a bit the face of our characters, and we made a vignette there behind our character. And sometimes you just want to pull all those light rays even more with plugins, like in this case we use light rays or glow. That is another great feature to add color to your image. And you basically want to use them to draw the image of the eye of your audience to your image. And let's just take some other clips to let you understand this even better. You may have been light rays, like in these clips, original light rays from the image, and you may just want to add from new ones just to enhance a bit your image, so like there or there, and you want to add them before or maybe after. Sometimes I use it after, most of the time, to enhance the look of your main image. This is not a thing just like going there and adding plugins to make it better, but it's a thing of drawing the eyes of your audience to a specific point, like there, vignettes to enhance a bit the center, a bit of glow there to enhance this part, and you just want to draw the attention of your audience to a specific part, or right there where you make a vignette of this part of the window, just to open up even more these light rays. So just be open on the latest part of your project to this. You want to enhance what is already great in your image. You want to boost up things like there. We got this, this narrow beam of light. We want to make it even better and closer to a subject. So we vignette it, and we have added some even stronger glow and light rays from there, or in the beginning there on this shot, where we basically draw some power windows to the central part of the image. Even there we helped a bit the window with some glow and some adjustments. And yeah, basically what you want to do is just draw the attention whenever you want with power windows, effects, keeping the original tone of the image, helping it improving everything even more. Or just look this simple image, super simple image, but we want just to pull the audience attention to the eye. So we had this really strong power window that you don't even notice in the beginning, but this is helping the audience a lot. So watch your image and draw the attention through power windows and effects. So there you go with my top 5 secrets achieving cinematic grades. Knowing them is not enough though, you gotta actually practice that to learn them. As said, maybe we talked about something you didn't catch 100%. I will be covering everything you didn't understand inside my masterclass, so keep watching because I got something big for you. And remember that practice makes perfect. Now real quick, I want to talk about how you want to really take color grade and make it profitable. So let's just say effect. In the filmmaking industry right now, color grading is by far one of the greatest and well-paid jobs. And you want to know why? Because producers and directors, especially the newest one of the newest generation, are well educated that the colorist actually is a lifesaver. Having a colorist that can be present in post can really save your ass, can really save your project, and can really save everything that you did on the ground. A producer knows and a director knows that a great colorist on the back end can save everything that you did wrong on the ground. Not everything, obviously, but they know that everything that they will give to a great colorist will be transformed. So they know that the production will always have that step forward if you have a colorist. They know that this extra touch, that finalization, that even if you have the greatest DP in the world, must be achieved by a colorist. So they know that a colorist is that figure that it's a must in 2020 to have on the back end of your project. So what you want to know is that you gotta catch great producer, great director, start grading for them, start making jobs for them, either from free if you are just starting now, and entering into this void, into this circle of learning, grading, and repeat that. Learning and grading, learning and grading, learning and grading, and then you'll be the greatest colorist out there. No, you'll be just one of the greatest colorists with your touch. So you will have your producers and your directors and everyone that will see your heart, your way of approaching into the image, will fall in love with that, will fall in love with you, and you'll enter into that circle of working with them, learning from your mistakes, learning from them, from what they want, for what your clients want, and that's the big circles you want to come in. I'm not kidding on this, because the proven way to get clients and great gigs is just entering into this loop. So starting by grading your first production, maybe for free, yeah, maybe just for the portfolio, whatever you want to do this for, and then continuing learning and grading gigs after gigs. And I can tell you that if you're consistent and perseverant, and that perseverance, that word you got, make a tattoo with perseverance, even little time will pay a lot to you. Just watch on my Instagram, just watch at the fellas that comment on some of my posts, my students, get asked to my students. Everyone I know that passed to this masterclass just have proven results. And again, how I know that there is just this method, this loop, is just because I lived and I live into this loop. Being confident and being inside, a loop of great producers, great directors, and great people to work with is just full great. If color grading is what you love and the thing that you love the most to do, that's just what you need to do. So now I want to dive inside my color grading masterclass, and I want to give you an idea of what the full program includes. And for anyone who enjoys my teaching style, has got a lot of value from this webinar, and would like to learn a lot more, this is for you. So again, this free training is all about 45 minutes, an hour long. The color grading masterclass program is over 11 hours. So I'm adding new content time by time. If you love this, you surely love the masterclass. So as far as the content goes, here's a quick look at the topics I cover in my masterclass. So just looking at my masterclass on Podia, you'll see that there is everything you need and that needs to be covered about DaVinci Resolve and color grading. So everything you need to know about this program, where everything sits, what you want to add, what are the best settings, what you want to do the first time that you open the program, at the first time that you create a new project. So a complete overview of the whole program. That will be into the editing room. So if you're passing from Premiere or another editing program, the editing room will be customizable for Premiere user, Final Cut user, wherever you're coming from, you can customize it wherever you want. And we will talk about the edit room completely. Then the color correction model will be the model about taking your footage and just convert it and make it, lookable, and start to make a professional color grading. So how to correct your image, being your image perfectly balanced with the white balance, being perfectly balanced if you just want to give you to another colorist, or just if you want to create a perfect pipeline where everything just as to have all the blacks or the whites sitting at a certain point. So everything you need to take your footage to a standard and correct level. Then we will be talking about the colorist secret tools and color grading specifically. So everything that is new to you about color grading will be there. Specific tools that we use to make stunning color grades, and the whole color grading page understandable with a practical method. So I'll be explaining every single panel and every stuff that you want to know and how to use it properly on your corrected image. On the Model 6, we will be creating the looks, some of the main important stunning looks that your clients will surely ask into you. I will also create what I call the Hollywood look, that is the base look that every big colorist have and use to start the main big color grading. And on the final model, we will talk about the clip finalization and the export settings. So you get all the pipeline, you know how to work on it, you've created a stun color grading, then you want to be prepared to export it on different deliveries, on different platforms, different color rendition. So you understand everything from the base, and right now on the Model 7 you will be taught how to export with the best settings, with the correct settings, because if you want to export to a cinema or to the web, there are huge differences, and there we will cover how to put the correct settings on the output, right colors profiles, right codecs, and everything you need to finalize your project. Then if you scroll down, you can see all my most asked questions, and beside all my masterclass community that right now it's full of great students that are teaching and making profitable works all around the world. And I'm super excited to be always updated on their job. I'm always, ready to answer their new questions, their new thing they do. And having that great community behind my masterclass is what makes me proud the most and what make this more valuable. Because knowing that tons of students are actually applying everything that they learn here is just great to me, and it's great for all you new students. Because they learn the method and they're applying it, and now they're being profitable and they're being exclusively essential for the clients. So without further, let's go into the price of the full program as I promised. And I'll be offering an exclusive webinar discount as a webinar special. While this program is still growing, I'm selling it for just $239. Or for those who can afford the upfront cost, I have a 3 monthly payment plan. Being part of the color grading masterclass will give you the possibility of grabbing the Achieving the Cinematic Look masterclass with another special discount. So if you want also learning something more about cinematography just while purchasing the color grading masterclass, be conscious that you can have an extra discount to the Achieving the Cinematic Look masterclass. So let's go right now. You have that discounted price exclusively for you. Click on the link, follow ahead, and be part of the masterclass. Without further, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the offer. Like I said, this offer will be ready just for the next 10 minutes from now. So as the offer is going on right now, I'm gonna answer some of my questions that I picked from my Instagram. So just stay there because we will be interested into some of this. So one question is, why should I buy this course if I can watch YouTube tutorials? So as said, YouTube tutorials are good, are just good, because not great, because they don't give you a path or a method. You can just waste hours and years and months of your life just watching tons of YouTube tutorials. You will be, learning, because you will be learning from different videos, but these won't give you a path. Why I created this masterclass is just because I want to give you a specific path, because just by watching this 11 hours, you will have a complete path and not confusional path on how to use the program, how to make your note tree, how to properly correct, how to properly start a grade, and everything you need to know in a really complete flow without wasting more time than 11 hours. And that's really huge in my opinion. As said, I've watched tons of hours and hours and hours of tutorials during my years. I don't want you to waste time, so that's why I created that. If I want to grade a video for a company, how do I approach them? So being direct is just the first thing that I normally will say, and I normally do with all the clients I engaged in the past. Just make a show reel, make a montage of everything you're doing, even if it's not your footage. You can just take it from Artgrid or Artlist. And by the way, I got some discount codes for Artlist and Artgrid on my YouTube channel, so go check them out whenever you want. And just by making this reel, you just want to write to them and say that you want to make something for them. Just don't write that you want to make it for free, or if you want to make it just because you're a new buyer or starting. Just say that you want to work with them and let them see what you have for them. Just be perseverant with that, writing to tons of brands that you actually like. And if you write like 100 mail and you receive just one yes, that one yes is enough to take other jobs. So just don't procrastinate and start writing up those mails with your reel and start working with them. Again, with 100 mails, just one answer will be enough to start. So every day, get motivated with this. Do you use a third-party video effect in DaVinci Resolve? My big answer is no. Actually, I purchased Film Convert and Nitrate last year, but normally I just use the pro version of DaVinci Resolve without anything more into this, because I just feel comfortable with everything that you find inside it. Plus, if I change my workstation from one to another, I'm pretty sure that I have everything I need just there. Should I go to film school? Answer still no. In my opinion, film school, it's way too expensive, and it will be just a long process that it's not that convenient in 2020. Tons of the things that you can learn in film school can be learned privately with courses, or just by learning from the ropes on the ground, learning by starting doing filmmaking. I always reached up to friends or people that actually love tons of director that never went to film school, like take Alfred Hitchcock, Stanley Kubrick, or Steven Spielberg. They never went to film school. The big thing is just by learning from things like masterclasses or even, you know, books, whatever you want, and then doing stuff, doing things, and start, you know, doing and making valuable with everything that you actually doing. What if I don't have my own camera to shoot things I want to grade? So as said, there are tons of websites like ArtGrid or Soundstripe just started having this like stock of videos on their web. You just want to pay maybe a few months on these websites and download some footage. You can just pick even 8K, right now 12K from the Ursa Mini Pro 12K raw footages. So just go on one of these websites on the web and download the footage and start grading. You just don't need right now to shoot your own stuff if you just want to make color grading. What if I have DaVinci Resolve free version? So for my masterclass, as I said, it's not a must having the pro version, because you can just recreate the databases that I give you for the free version in 1080p, and it's okay having it. But I think that in 2020, almost 2021, it's great to purchase it. It's pretty cheap in my opinion. For 300 bucks, it's okay to have it. And by the way, with that pro version, you will have 4K and the possibility to export all the footage into really great codecs. So yeah, it's fine to have it, but whenever you can, just save some money to take the pro version. But if you're starting right now, the free version, it's great and it works fine. What if I edit on Premiere Pro? Will your curse still apply? So yes, because if you edit on Premiere Pro, I have the edit section, especially one section that is about conforming, that will teach you how to take your timeline and just drag it inside DaVinci Resolve without changing anything. I will also teach you how to make your keyboard shortcuts with the preference that you have on Premiere, so everything that you have already on Premiere will be workable on DaVinci Resolve. So a big yes. How do I know how much to charge my clients? Yeah, that's a really tricky question, because it all depends whatever you are in the world. Because if you're in Italy, there are, you know, some specific works that have some values that are really different from America. Like take music videos. If you are in America, music videos can be paid from 3K to maybe 6 or 7K. Here in Italy, you maybe have to cut a zero to this, because right now we don't have too many, you know, learned clients, and it's just maybe right now something is moving, and I feel that producer and directors right now are asking for a colorist more often. But that's the reason why I work more frequently with, you know, people abroad, not from Italy right now. But depending wherever you are, just want to ask freely to some colorist from your zone, and ask even to me privately if you want. I work with tons, you know, of producers and directors from different parts of the world, France, UK, America, even some Indian guys. So there are really different charges on different projects. So you just want to be asking to some of your colleagues maybe, and just understand that, because it's not the same on every part of the world. Always try to negotiate, by the way. Always try to make them understand the value of your content, and set, you know, a baseline for you that you want to go down to that, because in the first line there is, you know, what you want to get on whatever you are working with, wherever you are located, and don't go below that. But if you are starting right now, it's okay if you just put that for free to some, you know, some works, just to make to add value to your portfolio. Can you tell me the most important thing you do during color grading? Primaries and color correction. Basically, having a color corrected image is the baseline for a great color grading, and having a really great and prepared image is the first thing. So primaries, I just want to stick with the primary wheels and the primary grading to, you know, making everything comfortable, making a great white balance, and then everything, in my opinion, is secondary. So after that, you do everything you want to do. Which computer and monitor do you use for color grading? So I use right now my main workstation, this one. It's a MacBook Pro laptop with the i9. I will post the specs maybe somewhere on my Instagram. I'll make a post on that. But you don't need a uber powered Mac or uber powered PC right now. You don't even need an extremely great monitor, because right now I'm using an LG. It's the Ultravision, I think it's called, the Ultravision LG that they made in, you know, with Apple, the 5K 10-bit monitor. It's really handy, but you know, you don't really need super expensive computers right now, because you just have to know that codecs are running great during these years, and just if you just take a Mac, a 422 Apple ProRes just work great in almost all the Macs. Obviously, just don't go below an i5 as a processor. You know, take a decent baseline laptop or a decent baseline iMac or PC. But right now, if you made a custom PC with something like 1K or 2K, you're already good to go with almost everything. And when I say almost everything, obviously I'm not talking about 12K RAW, that actually it's doing really good, the one that the Ursa is making, but just don't go uber huge. Even the standard MacBook Pro, if you're using cameras like a GH5 or RAW light codecs that comes from Canon, these are great on the most of the laptops. So if you're taking just an iMac or a custom PC from, let's say, 2018 up, you'll be great to go 99% of the time. If I have a specific question, will I be able to email you for those questions? Absolutely yes, just email me at my mail, that it's info.filippocinotti.com, and just ask me whatever you want. I'll be on the back end answer it to you. Again, use the chat box if you have also other questions. I'll be there answering for you. That's also is one of the things that separate my program from tons of the program that you can find on the web. I'm always ready to answer a question on mail or whatever you want. And talking about questions, hopefully I've answered most of them during this training. And if you have some more, just feel free to email me at my mail. I'll try to get in touch with you as soon as I can. So our offer is just ending right now. So for procrastinators or the people having payment issues, just write to me. I'll take care of you. And again, guys, we're coming to an end. So thanks for following this free webinar. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, YouTube, whatever you want. Just follow Filippo Cinotti and keep update with everything that I've been posting. I'm doing some daily posts and daily content value every single day on my Instagram channel and Facebook channel. I want to wish all of you the best of luck for your works and whatever you're doing in your life, and never stop learning, grading, and doing stuff. Enter into that loop, be brave, make it better, and don't procrastinate, just keep pushing on that accelerator. And that's it. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for everything. Thanks for being there. I'll see you next time.